So I wrote a book. This is not going to be one of those crazy edited videos on my channel, but actually this video took the longest out of any video I've ever made to make. I've been writing this book for the last 6 months. I locked myself in a room and every single day I just sat down, wrote chapter after chapter, and essentially just dropped my entire brain into this book. The book is titled YouTube Growth Made Simple, and it's essentially a full guide on how to start and grow your YouTube channel from zero to over 100,000 subscribers. So the reason why I actually made this book is because frankly, there's actually no other real YouTube book that's up to date on the market. The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves came out in 2018, which now is over 7 years ago. And when I first started my YouTube journey, I bought that book and I read it, and it actually really helped me. It was a great book. But if I tried to start a YouTube channel today and I read that book, I would be so far behind. And at the time, all of that information was really great, but now in 2025, the game has changed. And I haven't seen anybody write another book that gives people the real beginner and advanced strategies that you need to grow a YouTube channel in today's day and age. And to be honest, that's a shame, because right now, growing on YouTube is easier than it ever has been. And that's because with the rise of AI and the abundance of information out there online, there really isn't any reason to why you shouldn't be able to have success with YouTube this year. And that is exactly why I wrote this book, because I am on a mission to take over 1,000 people to over 100,000 subscribers. And after giving away a completely free YouTube course with everything that you need to know in order to go from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, but I wanted to take this to a complete another level and build something that has more information, not just the beginner information, but also the advanced information that you need in order to really grow today and spread that to the most amount of people possible. And this book is that. It's something that I spent over 100 days writing, put my blood, sweat, and tears into this book, and essentially just dropped all the information that you could ever want, ever need in order to grow a channel to 100,000 subscribers. And the information inside of this book frankly costs hundreds, thousands of dollars. And that's exactly why I want to give it away to you guys. Because frankly, I know how much YouTube can change people's lives. When I first started on YouTube, I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I was making videos completely blind. The only thing that kept me going was a quote by Ali Abdaal, where he essentially told me that if I make videos consistently for the next 2 years, my life will be in a better place than it is at the time. And that really drove me, because frankly, at the time, my life wasn't in a great place. I was in community college, I wasn't doing anything special with my life, and I was probably just gonna go into a normal, traditional career path, making an average wage, living an average life. And my entire life, I knew that I was destined for more than that. Little did I know that one decision to actually go all in on YouTube and just stay consistent with it, trying every single week to make one video better than the next, constantly making these little tiny improvements, would let me live an absolutely extraordinary life. Right now, I'm out here in beautiful Portugal on a Sunday. I just came from speaking in a mastermind in Marbella. Before that, I was in Vienna. And after this, I'll be going to Paris for a week or two, where I'm actually gonna meet up with my dad. I bought him a Christmas present. He's never been outside of the United States, and I bought him a ticket to Paris. And I'm not saying that to flex, but I want you to understand that YouTube changes lives. I would not be anywhere near this position that I'm in. Becoming friends with other big creators, people that are on the same exact mission that I am in life, making more money than 99% of people in any age range. And it happens faster than you would ever think, because when you have the right information, it allows you to essentially shortcut the game. Once you learn the rules of YouTube, it allows you to understand the game, and then you start to figure out how to actually win that game. For example, all throughout this book, every single chapter teaches you a new part of the game. Because in this book, every single chapter, 269 pages, it teaches you each rule of the game. We go over high-level strategy. What videos do you actually make in order to start getting more views? We go over titles. How do you actually write good titles? I talk about title balancing, value equations, and all of these more advanced things that most people haven't even heard of, that are the secrets to how I and hundreds of thousands of other creators have been able to make this their full-time career. And that is just the start. We go into thumbnails, color theory, the 3-element rule. We go into how to actually brand your channel, how to look at your analytics, how to tell phenomenal stories that keep people engaged and keep them watching. We go over the 3-act structure. We go over the hero's journey. We even go over coming of age stories on YouTube, which are a completely underrated thing that no one's taking advantage of right now. But not only that, we teach you how to read your analytics, how to look at actual data and make data-driven decisions on your YouTube channel, how to A/B test your videos so that you know exactly when to switch your thumbnails out in order to get the best results. Because as you may know, A video that flatlines doesn't mean it's actually dead. If you A/B test at the right time and with the right strategy, you can take a video that only got a few hundred views and transfer that into 100,000. So think of this like the YouTube Bible. It has everything that you could possibly want to know about YouTube and more inside of it. And the main reason why I actually wrote this book is because I grew up not being able to buy YouTube courses. And that was really, really discouraging in the start because I knew that there was people who had access to better information than I did. And right now, 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, not to mention other countries that have way lower average incomes. And when they're trying to buy a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 YouTube course, it simply is just out of their price range. Like most Americans, including myself at the time, I couldn't afford to drop an extra $1,000 to $2,000 to buy, somebody's YouTube course. And that's exactly why I wrote this book. I promise you, this is not my plan to get rich selling a $15 book that I make a few dollars on. But I think it will genuinely help a ton of you guys. And I see that there is a very dire need for someone to bring in updated, accessible information that's written in a digestible way that anyone can understand it and start to apply these concepts today to grow their channel past their first 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and eventually even 1 million subscribers, and turn YouTube from your hobby into your full-time career. Because frankly, YouTube changed my life. And when I look at this camera, I see the version of me that was just starting out. And even if it only helps a few people, it will have been worth it. So with that said, if you would like to get a copy of YouTube Made Simple, go ahead and click the first link in the description. This is truly a project that I am very, very proud of, that I put a ton of time and effort into. And this is the thing that I'm most excited to launch that I ever have in my life. So with that said, go ahead and click the first link in the description where I tell you a little bit more about the book and what you're gonna find inside. Thanks and have a great day.
All right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMMShiba and SMM are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And this should be already fine. 2014, 2017. Yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm. And now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right. The order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.